Have you ever heard of Debka? I'd heard about it. There was a troop of young people from a community in Palestine that was touring the United States. I remember talking with people about what it took to organize. It was very, very complicated, right? Well, it's complicated. I mean, it's actually not that complicated. There are processes, there are timelines. They ended up traveling to the United States, and at some point they came through Houston. At the time I was living in Houston. I was working somewhere, law firm. But I had former experience in journalism, and I wrote an article about their travel to Houston. I interviewed some people that were involved with organizing the event. I was able to get what they considered to be an official picture that was part of the promotional materials that had already been approved for distribution. I sent it in to a publication. They printed it. It was used to advertise the event. I attended the event, but something happened. The same thing happened when I was at an event for the Asia Society. In Houston, I had gotten this invitation to attend this event. I didn't feel inclined to stay inside the actual auditorium while they were performing and watch them. I kept leaving. And pacing around outside. It was as if during the event there were other matters that were ongoing, very important matters. And so I had to step outside of the actual auditorium. I believe I actually had a few conversations with people, brief conversations. But the matter was that while they were engaged in the actual event, which is beautiful, for whatever reason, I was supposed to be doing something else, almost as if there was some sort of secured communication that was occurring, to which I was on some level aware. In 2005, 2006, I did not have much cognizance of what that could potentially imply, much less mean literally. But by the time it happened again, in 2017, I did. Now we are where we are. I bring this up because when I returned to Houston, I tried looking for that article. I couldn't find any information about the travel of that Debka troop to Houston. But what I did find around that time was organizing for an Israeli Debka troop. Now, I'm not sure if it was Jewish Israeli, if it was Christian Israeli, if it was Arab Israeli. It was identified as Israeli dancing, called Debka. They had a group. You could pay, you could learn Debka. But I couldn't find any information at all that there had been an article that had been published in a print publication in Houston providing publicity about a youth troupe of dancers from Palestine that was on tour of the United States. Now we are where we are. I think this is a very appropriate time to bring this up. Why? Because sometime later, after this relationship, after this Debka troop came and toured the United States, I was in Honduras teaching. Now, because I was from the United States, it was not supposed to be my purview to discuss matters, including legal matters, connected to what was acknowledged as being indigenous. But the students would tell me about their understanding of their culture. One of the things they said is that Honduras had 4 tribes, and that there was something called indigenous dancing. And I asked, well, which tribe does this kind of dancing come from? Oh, it's the indigenous dance. All the tribes do it. It's from all the tribes. What was I supposed to say? The truth is that I learned from other people. There's actually more than 4 tribal entities in Honduras that identified themselves. For some reason, some of them did not go through some formal process of being identified or acknowledged by the government as being specifically categorized as a governmental entity identified as an indigenous tribe. It makes me wonder if they knew about the Chizos. See, it's a problem I'm having. The Episcopal Royalty Trust has its headquarters in Oklahoma. That's all I'm going to say for now.